Yo, what's good, y'all? Alright, today we can be talking about the top 10 small forwards in the NBA. And if you missed my other two videos about the top 10 point guards, the top 10 shooting guards, then definitely hit that video up before you watch this one. But anyways, let's jump right into it, man. Alright, I got one honorable mention for this, only one this time. And it's Will Barton from the Denver Nuggets. You know, he's a pretty solid starting small forward. Averaged about 15 points, 6 rebounds. And he's going to give you some good shoot from behind the arc. He always plays with some high energy. And he's just a guy you want on your court. Now, I don't know if I would love to have him as my starting small forward if I'm a contending team, but he's definitely a great option. But that's enough talk about Will Barton. Let's go ahead and get to number 10. And number 10, we got Kelly Oubre Jr., who was really damn good this year, honestly. You know, he's always been a really good defender, and he's just bumped up his three-point shooting so much more, and that opens up all the driving lanes for him. And I really love his three point and drive game and his defense. Like I said, the only problem I have with him is he is a terrible playmaker. He just never looks for teammates. Like I'm a Washington Wizards fan, man, and when he was on our team, he would never look for teammates. If he got the ball, he was looking to shoot, regardless. But still, very solid player, and he's was a good pickup by the Suns a couple years ago. All right, number 9. I got Andrew Wiggins, and I've been very, very critical of Andrew Wiggins in his career. Like I used to hate him a lot. I didn't think he had any use to a team. But this year he was actually pretty somewhat okay. You know, he averaged 22 points per game and 5 rebounds. But the impressive part to me was he finally stepped up his field goal percentage slightly. It's always been pretty low, but he stepped up a little bit. And he actually started trying to develop his playmaking skills and finding teammates, actually getting some more assists, finding open people. And you could just tell he was looking around for his team more, not just looking to score the rock like he usually does. I still need to see a lot more improvement in Andrew Wiggins because I'm still not a big believer, but he has took a step in the right direction. Let's get into number 8 now. And that was at one point seen to be the bubble MVP who turned to Michael Jordan for a couple weeks, TJ Warren. Now, back in the day, he's always been a scorer. I remember he had no three-point shot whatsoever. You would never see him attempt one back on the Suns, and then all of a sudden one year he just started shooting them, and he's a great shooter now. You know, really good defender. He's really can do everything, kind of like an all-around player. But kind of same thing with Kelly Oubre. He's just not, you know, a huge playmaker, but he will still give you some good defense. Of course, he'll give you 20 a night on good efficiency, and he's a player I would love to have on my team. All right, next up at our number 7 spot, we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he's one of the best young players in the NBA today. He's no Trae Young or Luka, but he is one of the best young players in the NBA. He had finished his second season, and in his first year, you could just tell he came out with the ability to score the ball out the gate. And this year, his playmaking skills did take a little bit of a backseat, you know, due to Chris Paul taking over some of that load. But you know, even though it wasn't all him, he was part of the best fourth quarter team in the NBA this past season, and you know, he got some more playoff experience under his belt. They were a few possessions away from going to the second round, and he just helps you win, man. Most young players don't help you win. He helped improve the Clippers when he was a rookie, and now the Thunder, he was a very key piece of them. Um, I like him. He's pretty good rebounder from what I saw as well. So I do like that about him. Great defender. He can also just really read the defense when he's playmaking. I noticed he's just a really good picking apart the defense. And I say as time goes on, he may be one of the better playmakers in our league. Right now he's not top tier playmaker, but I see the potential for him to be a really great playmaker in the future. At number 6, we got Bojan Bogdanovic from the Utah Jazz, and he was a huge missing piece to the Jazz in the playoffs. If they would have had him, they would have definitely beat the Nuggets. I mean, they were up 3-1 on them already, and that was without him because he had to have surgery before the bubble even started. But with him, yeah, they definitely would beat the Nuggets. Even though I love the Nuggets, but he's the second best scorer on the Jazz, and he might not be a second best player. That goes Rudy Gobert, but he's the second hand man to Donovan Mitchell on offense. Which that's what Mike Conley was supposed to be, but he was pretty damn trash this year. Hate to say it, I love you, Mike Conley, but you were pretty trash. Get better, please. But this guy is one of the best shooters in the league. Whether it's just, especially 3-pointers, you already know. Catch and shoot, off dribble, don't matter. And he can shoot some bombs too from deep, but he can also do a pull up mid ranger, and um, he's really just a great team player. Honestly, love to have him on the team. Like I love when he was on Washington for that one year. Not gonna lie, very he just fits into every NBA offense. Really, can't go wrong with this guy. But next up, at number 5, we have Brandon Ingram. This is another guy I underrated for a really long time. I never really believed in him, never really thought he could be anything. And this year, he finally got the Lakers, got to the Pelicans, and proved me wrong. I mean, he averaged 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Everybody's always said that he's next Kevin Durant, he's KD. Like, never saw it, but I kind of saw it this year. He's got the scoring numbers, not the KD like, but still 24. That's a start considering where he was at. He's averaging 6 rebounds. He's at least getting some assists. I don't think his playmaking skills are that great, but he is pretty decent for a small forward, and pretty good ball handler as well, in my opinion. And since he's such long and lengthy, he can get steals and blocks pretty easily. Great defender. I think he's going to be really good next to Zion. I don't think they should split them up. Please don't split them up. They could be a dynamic duo for the years to come. But we got number 4, Chris Middleton. And man, I don't know. He was only a few makes off of being in the 50-40-90 club this year. So he's really, really efficient, but he's just never that great in the playoffs. And I remember ESPN had him ranked as the 10th best player in the league in their rankings this year. I highly don't think that. He's a good player, though, averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's always been known as one of the better 3-and-D guys in the league. And I think his defense has slipped over the years slightly, but he's still a really good defender. And I think he usually shoots over 40% from deep. You can't really get better than that from a shooter of his caliber and volume. But even still, is he good enough to be the number 2 option on the championship team? The Bucks really need to ask themselves that. Because if he's not good enough to be the number 2 option, they need to either move him or find a way to get a player better than him without giving him or Giannis up. Because Giannis needs more help. That's all I'm saying. They don't want to lose Giannis. And at number 3, I got the man this year, the man of the bubble, Jimmy Butler. The guy who don't shave, don't cut his hair. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Sometimes he may not put up the most flashy points. He'll only give you like 18, 19. He actually averages like right under 20 points per game this year, but that's still pretty good. And about 6, 7 rebounds and 6 assists, somewhere around there. He's always one of the best defenders in the league. And I've always thought Jimmy Butler is, top 15, top 20 player. I've never saw him this good before. But I think that's part of listening to the media, letting other people determine my judgments. But now just seeing Jimmy Butler dominate this year, I can't put him any lower than 3. It was so fun watching him in the bubble every single game. A lot of times they'll be down too, and you just see him. Sometimes it'd be Tyler Hero helping, sometimes it'd be Bam, but a lot of times you just tell Jimmy Butler was the leading force in some of those comebacks and runs, and he would make clutch shot after clutch shot. Great playmaker. He's really upped his playmaking back from his young Bulls days. Damn, 'cause he used to not really be a playmaking threat at all, but now he is. And I really want to see Jimmy Butler get a championship before he gets too old, man. I really want to see him do that. It would just be so fun to see him holding up that Finals MVP, man. But anyways, let's go on to number 2, and that's this right here is just predicting that he will have not really lost much of a step. All right, number 2, we have Kevin Durant. This is really assuming that his injuries don't set him back too much. He's at least 90% of the player he used to be. And if he's that, he's still the second best small forward, no doubt in my mind. I mean, the last season they played, which was not this past one, the one before Golden State, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. But he's just a lethal scorer. Literally, I mean, he can be wide open, hit any wide open shot. He can pull up from anywhere. You can be sagging 10 feet off. You can be literally up in his grill. He's just gonna find a way to pull up. There's really not a way to stop him, and if you think you're gonna try to guard him too hard, he will drive past you and dunk on you. He really don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest. Great defender. Not the best on ball, but he's still can hold his own. He can get quite a good amount of steals, and he's a really good rim protector. Actually, you just forget, because he's skinny, but he's 7 foot tall, and he's a pretty damn good rim protector. I've really seen it on Golden State. He even got some chase down blocks and stuff very frequently on there, and I think he's gonna pick up right where he left off. I know Achilles injuries are really tough, but Kevin Durant, he's just a different type of player, and I think he will be the second player to fully recover from an Achilles injury. I really hope he does because I want to see him and Kyrie competing for a championship next year. And at number 1, you probably already know who it is by now because LeBron was a point guard this year, so that means it's Kawhi Leonard, best small forward in the league. After his season in Toronto, I was thinking that Kawhi Leonard is probably the best player in the NBA. Like I was just in awe. He looked like MJ-esque to me in that Toronto season in the playoffs. Just every single series, just dominant. It's kind of how I felt about Jimmy Butler this year. Just it was a little crazier with the Kawhi thing. And you know what? I feel after this season, I still think he's the best player in the league. I don't care if LeBron won the championship. I think Kawhi is the best player in the league. And no, I'm not a Clippers fan. I know I probably overrate Paul George to y'all, and I'm probably overrating Kawhi Leonard to y'all. I don't know. I've just been really big fans of both their games, all their careers that I've been watching, and I think Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league. I know he's the best defender in the league. He's one of the most clutch players in the league, one of the best scorers, and he's really developed his 3-point shot. And this was the first year he was working on becoming a good playmaker. Every year he usually comes back and adds something to his game, and he looks like he's finally adding this last piece to it. And he has no weakness in his game, like really none. I do not see a single one. And even with that said, I know he will come back next year and be better. But that is all we have time for today. If you like the video, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. But stay tuned because I'm going to be dropping that power forward and center top 10 video. And I will definitely do a top 30 video after I'm done with all this. So, see y'all next time.